Without Steph Curry, the Warriors have a ramped-up sense of defense in a 118-106 win over Portland. Game 1 of the Western Conference Semifinals in the books. Courtney Cronin, Marcus Thompson of the Bay Area News Group. Defensively, the game plan had to change. It had to become the focal point, as Draymond Green said. They know with Steph Curry in there, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. But against this Portland team, with the advantage they have with size and length, and especially against the backcourt, that was what they had to focus on, and that's how they got out to a very hot start.
You know, they started by trying to take off the head of the snake, Damian Lillard. Boy, they really put pressure on him. Klay Thompson put all 6'7" on him. Sean Livingston covered the shot really well. Iguodala. What they did was chase him off the three-point line and make him penetrate. And they had Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut waiting for him. So without Damian Lillard, you can kind of live with what everybody else does, and they didn't do much. So I think their approach is, let's overwhelm this team with defense, and if we make shots, we're going to win big. If we don't make shots, we're still going to win. It just might be a little closer. Tonight, Klay Thompson made shots, and it wasn't close.
Klay Thompson, 37 points, a game high. He said on Saturday that he expected the runs to happen, they run an up-tempo motion. It was going to be a very fast-paced game, but to not get discouraged when Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum do make shots. Lillard had a quiet 30. It didn't feel like that, but taking him
like a church mouse 30, right?
Yeah,
right?
Taking him out of the game in the sense where you're going to make him grind for every basket and not come in here and get easy layups is exactly what happened. And when he's gone, what else does Portland have?
They have Al-Farouq Aminu shooting threes in the corner, which he made his first three and then went all bad. They got Allen Crabbe, who, can get some buckets, but he won't kill you.
And they didn't use him that
Yeah,
much.
they didn't. So they don't have much. I got a sense from Klay, like without Steph, right, everybody's like, oh, Damian Lillard is great, and Damian Lillard is great. Klay played like he wanted to prove, like, yo, I'm the best. I'm the best guard here without Steph, right? I felt like he wanted to get that message across, like, people forgot about Klay, right? So if he's on a mission like that to show that, hey, we don't have Steph, but we got me and I can carry this team, that's going to be a problem because if they can't outscore the Warriors backcourt without Steph, what are they going to do in Game 3 if Steph comes back, or Game 4? So it's going to be a long, rough series for Portland. They probably shouldn't be here, and when you're mismatched at this level, it really shows up because we're now in game 100 of the season. At this point, if you're not matched up well, you're gonna pay a steep price.
Steph Curry will not be with the Warriors at least for one more game. We don't know if it's going to be Game 3 that he does return. He said during a halftime interview with ABC that he'd like to be back for Game 3. He thinks it may be in his favor to have that happen. Steph. He's going to push this thing ahead of, push the train ahead of schedule. Do you think he comes back Game 3?
I thought so, just by when he finally talked the other day. He just sounded like somebody who felt like his knee was healing properly. I think the Warriors said the 2 weeks was always like an arbitrary guesstimate, right? It could be 1 week, it could be 3 weeks. But Steph is so competitive. If you tell him 2 weeks, he's the type of guy that says, all right, well, I'm going to try to beat it at 9 days, right? So you could see him literally like fighting against the clock of everybody says I'm going to be back Game 4. I want to be back Game 3. Now the question is, if he says he's ready, does that mean he gets on the court? We've seen him think he's going to play Game 3 and then not play Game 3 before. So I think the Warriors might be cautious, but I could totally see his knee being fine, and they know they could really put the series away with Game 3 in Portland, and he working his way on the court. Like, he's Steph Curry, right? Yeah. If he wants to play, he's gonna play. It's kind of like you. If you want to do video, right? If you want to be a star, like, we can't stop you. You're a star. You're like the greatest part of our whole team. So whatever Courtney wants to do, that's what gets done.
Game 3 in Houston, Steph Curry, I noticed, I completely ignored that. Game 3 in Houston is the game that Steph thought maybe he'd play. Steve Curry sits him on the bench. That's the turnover game. It's the last second, with a few seconds left, Draymond Green had the ball roll off his fingertips. They're still not winning the turnover battle. They're winning the battle on the boards with their size, their length. They know that Portland's going to go small. You have Mo Harkless playing center earlier. He's 6'9". But the turnover battle, is that something to still be kind of concerned about? Because you really haven't seen much improvement throughout the last few games in that margin.
I don't think so. Well, you need to be concerned about it from this sense. If it continues in the next round, it might hurt you because San Antonio, they prey on turnovers. Even Oklahoma City, should they somehow make that a series.
Yeah, he's completely written off Oklahoma City at this point.
Off one game, I just wrote him off. If they somehow make it a series and win it, even Oklahoma City feeds off turnovers. So I just think the problem is the teams the Warriors are playing can't make them pay. Houston can't make them pay. Portland can't make them pay, at least not enough to make it an issue. So they'll turn the ball over 15 to 20 times, somewhere between there. Once you get to 20, it's all right. It's all right now. Steve Kerr is fuming at the mouth or whatever. So as long as they keep it reasonable, I think they're fine because they play good enough defense and they still can score. And the other team just isn't good enough to really make the Warriors pay.
All right, Game 2, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. here at Oracle Arena before the Warriors begin a 2-game stretch, trying to close this one out in 4. For Marcus Thompson, I'm Courtney Cronin. Thanks for watching.